Hello, Mr. Ford. My name is Mrs. Jones, and you are here for the final interview for the CSR position here at Mckesson. We're going to ask you a few questions, and depending on those responses, we will let you know if you qualify for the CSR position here at Mckesson, or we're going to seek further interviews with other candidates. Are you ready to begin, Mr. Ford?
Yes, Ms. Jones, I'm ready.
Very well. The first question is, as a candidate, what would you bring to the CSR position here at Mckesson?
Well, three things I value. First would be hard work. My father worked at a warehousing company for 26 years before he retired, and my mother worked in the customer service field for 22 years before retiring. So I come from a family of hard work. Both my mother and my father retired after the career that they started with, and that's what I want to do here at Mckesson. I believe that being able to start with a company and finish with a company shows your loyalty as an employee to your employer, and that's something that I value. I work very hard. I clock in until I clock out. I give 110%. Being a four-year starter for my basketball team at my previous college, every day in practice we worked hard before games, and actually made the games easier. And so I believe that if you give 110%, you get the best results. And second is attendance. Once again, I'm very family orientated. My mother and father attendance record at their company was impeccable. I feel that I want to do the same. I want to lead by example. I want to be able to have that same accolade on my resume, especially with a company. I believe that if you're there 15 minutes before your shift, never late, that shows your dedication to your company, and also it shows who you are as a person. What do you value the most? And that's something. That's the second thing that I believe that would help me at the CSR position would stand out. If you look at my previous job, I was never late. My manager there would tell you that I'm always on time. I'm efficient, and that's something that I value. And lastly, the third thing that I feel that will better my chances here at the CSR position would be the philanthropy work you guys do. Last year I worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield as an internship for 128 hours, and I loved it. Even though I wasn't getting paid, what I learned from that company from working at Blue Cross Blue Shield was worth more than any kind of paycheck they can give me. The ability to help people when they need you is something that I value. And last year, you guys netted 127 million in philanthropy work, and I believe that that's something that, even though it's 127 million and I only did 128 hours, the principle remains the same. You guys value helping people who financially are, can't afford generic prescriptions or financially don't have benefits enough to afford that. So you help put them on the best plan possible to get benefits, and that's something that I know that every day I would never get tired of working for your company. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very well put. The second question, Mr. Ford, is list three strengths about you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Three strengths that I would say about myself would be, one would definitely be my dependability. I love to be there when people need me. What I mean by that is, back to being a basketball player, being the point guard of the team, you lead your team. When there's 5 seconds left in the game, the ball is put in my hand to make the best decisions, and I convert that into my work ethic. I believe that if you guys need me to work overtime, I'm available. All you have to do is call me, let me know ahead of time. Even if it's at the spur of the moment, and you guys need me to fill another CSR position who called in or something like that, I'm definitely available. I believe time managing is something that I value. So in that 8-hour shift or 10-hour shift, I believe in maximizing my time for the company and efficiency and being able to work and progress with my company and make my company better by those extra hours needed overtime over the weekend or something like that. I love being depended upon because that's something that I believe in, and I believe that's one of my strengths. Another one of my strengths would be how I work well with others. You put me in a position to where, as a team, we have to complete a goal, a common goal, I'm able to do that. Anytime there is a problem within that team, I'm able to solve it. I have good leadership skills. I had took a leadership course in college where I learned the skills necessary in order to be a great leader, and then I convert that to my athleticism, my playing on the court. Also, I convert that into the work field, being able to work well within your employees to do a common goal. I believe that is most promising at a company. And at Mckesson, I know you guys value each other. It's very professional, but at the same time, it smiles every day, and that's something that I believe that is one of my strengths. And lastly, another strength that I have to say is my work ethic. I give 110%. I don't know how to give anything less. I believe that the harder you work, the better for the company. The harder you work, the better you are as a person. That's something that can always, if anybody can't say anything about you, your work ethic can always speak for itself. That action, you put in that work ethic in action, will always generate great results. I don't see no negative reactions from working hard for a company. I believe that if I clock in at 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I'm going to give you 100% from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I don't know how to do anything less. And I believe that's definitely my three strengths that I feel that at Mckesson that I can excel at.
Very eloquently put, Mr. Ford. We do value hard work and leadership and problem-solving skills here at Mckesson, and if you embody that as a CSR, you can go far with this company. The third and last question that we have for you, Mr. Ford, is give us an example of when you had to problem solve, where it was at work, at home, or any recreational activity that you may have been involved in.
Oh, that's easy, Mrs. Jones. With me being the leader of my basketball team, there was many disputes that we had on the court between either teammates and coaches, or teammates, players upon players, and I was always looked to be the mediator of those situations, and through those situations, we had successful outcomes. Sometimes the coaches would disagree with how a player is performing, and he vocally expressed that, and sometimes players, whether from the freshman or sophomore level, they wouldn't be able to take that in positively. And so one thing that they would do is sometimes we would bring them down, but they would come to me with their problems, and I'd be able to help them and relay that to my coach. So then next time when the coach disagrees, instead of putting it out in front of the teammates, they respectfully pull them aside and talk to them in a professional manner. And that's something that I feel that when it comes to problem solving, I'm able to do. Because if you put me in the work field and there's a caller we may have on the line that is irate and distraught and doesn't look at Mckesson as the great company to be in or try to work in, I'm able to de-escalate that tension and get them back on the right track to where they look at us as a strong company, a company to work well with, a company that's going to take care of their needs. And I feel that if you put me in those positions to where we have customers like that, being able to help them and de-escalate that tension before I transfer them over to a higher ranking CSR position employee would be great and successful for the company.
Very well. We do have lead CSRs, but they're more to act as a support. We value independence and, like I said, great problem-solving skills, and we do take notice and reward great examples of problem-solving skills and independence. So, Mr. Ford, that concludes the questions that I have for you. Are there any questions that you have for me?
Yes, Mr. Jones. One question that I do have is, what is the growth here? And what I mean by that is that I did 4 years at a college to get my management degree and my labor relations degree. And one thing that I value is growth. I started off just a kid getting his prereqs done and ended up after 4 years later with a certificate of completion of my degree. What I want to do here at Mckesson, I want to grow. I don't want to be at this company for 2 years or 3 years. I want to be here forever. I want this to be my career field. I want to start here and I want to finish here. But I just want to know what is the opportunity of growth, because I value your company and you guys finished #1 in customer service last year, and I want to be a part of that team. I want to start off as a lead CSR, work my way to a lead CSR, all the way into the management field, and if possible, maybe the executive field. Who knows? But if you could tell me the opportunity of growth, I would appreciate that, Ms. Jones.
No problem. Well, here at Mckesson, the only requirement for the growth to grow in the company is, of course, you complete your 90 days probational period. After that, if you have the qualifications and if you can show us that you can meet the requirements for the position that you're applying for, then you will get a fair interview just like anybody else would here at Mckesson. We value and we love to hire within and give the candidates and the employees within the opportunity to grow with the company. We are a family here, we value teamwork, and we like to take care of our family within the walls. And taking care of our family within the walls, that leads to the great community service and philanthropy that we do outside of this company. So if there's ever a position that comes up and you pass your 90 days, you are more than welcome to apply for that position.
Well, I'd like to say thank you, Ms. Jones. You definitely answered my question, and hopefully I'll be able to work here. If I am, then once again, it's going to be a great benefit for me and a great benefit for your company here at Mckesson. And I just want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to explain to you why I'm the best candidate here.
Well, Mr. Ford, based on the first two interviews and this final interview, we are more than welcome and ready to offer you a position here at Mckesson as a CSR if you are willing to accept that position.
Yes, ma'am, I accept.
Well, very well. Thank you for your time in this interview and welcome to Mckesson.
Thank you, ma'am.